Today I want to talk to you about using a guarantor, under which circumstances you might be a guarantor and under which circumstances you might have your parents or another family member offering a guarantee in order to help you buy your home. There's a number of different situations. If you buy in the name of a family trust or a company as trustee for a family trust, most lenders will require that you give an individual guarantee. A guarantee is a promise to pay the loan in the situation that the person or the entity that's borrowing is unable to make the repayments in general. The company or trust or you're an individual trustee would pretty much always need to do that. The risks to you as a guarantor are that should the property have to be sold or should the loan fall into arrears or default, you would become personally responsible for the payment of that loan. It's pretty serious and it's something that needs to be taken seriously. In some situations, you might be required to get independent legal or financial advice in order to become a guarantor. Most lenders will let you know what that's all about. And when you're getting that independent legal or financial advice, your lawyer is going to explain to you, or your chosen solicitor or advisor is going to explain to you the different levels of risk that are involved in becoming or allowing your property to be used as guarantee. Allowing your property or your income be able to be used to guarantee a home loan or investment loan. Family support is another very commonly used method of buying a home. I've got lots of clients that have used family support to allow the first home buyer to enter into a home contract without a deposit or with a minimal deposit. It can really help people get into the home that they want to get into, live where they want to live, and use some equity in their parents' home to allow for the borrowing of 100 or 110% of the property value. So you can borrow without needing to save a deposit because the loan itself stays under 80% of the property value. That negates the need to prove where you got your funds to complete from with a lot of lenders, not with every lender, but with a lot of lenders. And your parents are providing just their home as the guarantee, so not their income. They're not promising to pay the loan back under any situation. They're just saying you can use a little corner of the back garden of the family home in order to help you buy. It can be a holiday house, it can be an investment property. It doesn't particularly matter what the security of it is. There needs to be enough equity in the security. And we do this by means of limiting the guarantee, and let me explain how that works. In the situation where you're buying for $500,000, your first home, and you've asked your parents to provide a security guarantee, their part of the property needs to support the loan of the balance of the $100,000 that we spoke about. So when we were doing our first homeowners introduction, one of the examples that we use throughout it is a $500,000 house. $400,000 is equivalent to 80% of the property value, and if you remember or if you watch those videos, that's the lender's preferred loan to value ratio, so the amount that the lender would prefer to lend to you. In the situation where you don't have a deposit, but your parents have offered to use their property as a guarantee, or we've asked them and they understand that, there will be a mortgage on their property and that we do need the title to be able to get that mortgage onto that property, they will we can limit the guarantee by splitting the loan. So what I'd normally do in that situation is you'd have one loan of $400,000 and then you'd have another loan that covers the $100,000, or in the case where there was stamp duty in Victoria, $100,000 plus costs. that meant that your parents' property needed to guarantee at 80% of their property value. So in the case of $100,000, we're asking them to have $122,000 worth of property available to provide an adequate 80%, again, 80% rule of thumb with the lenders. That's what they want. So you've got in with no savings, but your parents' property is being used as security. You can borrow, as long as you can service the debt, you can borrow. And what I find is there's a lot of people in that sort of mid-20s, great job, travelled a lot, not a lot of savings, or you've been living out of home for a really long time, and that's expensive. So you don't necessarily have the savings, but you've got the absolute capacity to repay the debt. There are a few lenders that will look at that situation, that family guarantee situation, and allow you to avoid mortgage insurance and get into your first home at minimal cost. I really like it.